Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are once more in the studium to help Jude with the Rolequest for the carpenter, weaver, and leather worker. And yeah, a 10-year promise. Last we met, I mentioned there was something I needed to confirm before proceeding. This something concerned Jeromere. Since joining the studium, I had not had a chance to have a proper discussion with him. There's so much I would like to ask him. Such why he refuses to speak of our vow from 10 years ago. Why he insists so fervently that I drop my studies. For the longest time I was too scared to confront him. I thought if he had truly lost interest in astronomy, maybe we wouldn't have anything in common anymore and... Never mind, that's no longer relevant. Thanks to you and our Starlands journey, I've become confident enough to face my fears head-on. I plan to meet Jeromere and ask him what happened to the promise we made at the exact spot where we encountered the Azure Star in Tranquility. But I'm positive that if I ask him to come, Jeromere will find another clever excuse to avoid me. Please, Daisy, would you be so kind as to ask him in my stead? Thank you. You can likely find him at Orc's Landing, reciting poetry with his friends. In the meantime, I will make my way to Tranquility and wait for you and Jeromere there. Alright, people. You there. You're the craftswoman helping out at the Faculty of Astronomy. I take it you're not here to recite poetry? I'm looking for Jeromere. You're looking for Jeromere? Sure, I can point you in this direction, but you have to do something for me first. You see, there's this girl. She spoiled my advances a few days ago. I can see you are also flabbergasted to learn she directed a dashing young man such as myself. Hurry up and tell me what you want. Aren't we snappy? Well, I know just a thing that will elevate me from simple charming to outstanding. A set of classy writing utensils. I want you to craft them for me. I will of course see that you're furnished with everything you need. After all, such consideration is the defining quality of a gentleman. Just as this boy right next to me for materials. He still owes me a rather large sum of gold, and we will see that all your expenses are covered. Let's hurry and get this over with. I cannot stand being indebted to him for a moment longer. Okay, writing utensils. Once you finish crafting my utensils, you can deliver them directly to me. Here you go. Excellent. With this exquisite set, I will no doubt be able to produce poetry beyond that of an average club member. She will have no choice but to rethink her foolish decision. Right, you wanted to know where Jeromere is. You can find him at Scholar's Harbor right about this time. A real wet blanket this one is, if you ask me. No need to say that. He's only just joined and has yet to settle in is all. What faculty did he transfer over from again? He is certainly not going to be happy if I told you. You're going to have to ask someone else. Sounds to me like he's harboring a few secrets then. Yes, the utensils you crafted are superb. Rather than dallying about admiring your handiwork, however, you'd best hurry to Scholar's Harbor if you want to catch Jeromere. Piss off. Ah, it's you. The craftsman working with Jude. What can I do for you? I need to speak with you. You want to speak with me regarding Jude? Very well, I suppose I can spare a few moments if it concerns our dear friend Jude. Shall we talk here, or did you wish to speak in private elsewhere? Tranquility. I'll be on my way then. So what exactly did you wish to speak with me about? I see. I suspected as much. Of course I should have known you to be suspicious. You have always been 2 steps ahead of me. Even so, you still came, and I have words for you that have been left unsaid for far too long. Jeromere, why did you quit the Faculty of Astronomy? So you know I once presided there? It would be odd if I didn't. Surely even you knew you wouldn't be able to feign ignorance for long. I ask you again, why did you quit the Faculty of Astronomy? 10 years ago, we made a vow at this very spot. We swore together we'd search for and find the Azure Star together. Why would you renegade on our promise now? Have you come to hate astronomy? Me? Hate astronomy? Please don't be silly. Finding that star meant the world to me. You will also be forced to face the truth one day, just as I have. Allow me to warn you before it's too late. I'm but 1 summer older than you. I shed blood, sweat and tears to ensure I'd be able to earn a place to study at the studium. I kept silent about which faculty I was to enter because I had hoped to make some progress toward our goals and surprise you with it once you joined. Upon hearing members were free to use the telescope anytime I joined the Classical Astronomical Association, I planned to devote all my spare time to our investigation. For several months, day in and day out, I took the telescope and observed every last corner of the sky without fail. To my utter despair, I was unsuccessful in ever locating the Azure Star. Even so, I refused to give up on our dream. I thought perhaps a more powerful telescope was required, and so after much negotiating with my professors, I was granted leave to use the finest equipment available in the studium. Yet, for all my effort, all my planning, I could find not so much as a glimmer of that bloody star in the night sky. I grew more weary by the day and was eventually forced to come to a harrowing realization. The Azure Star does not exist. It never did. Just as the scholars of the studium told us back then, we imagined it. The Azure Star doesn't exist? If, in fact, what you say is true, then why not tell me sooner? Same as me, finding that star meant everything to you. How could I possibly tell you that? If the Azure Star doesn't exist, then what have I been working toward this entire time? I understand your feelings better than you know. Forgetting about it will take time, but it can be done. Promise me, however, you won't forget this, Jude. I am, and will always be, your friend and ally. My life, without the Azure Star giving me direction and purpose, is meaningless. What am I to do? What do you want to do? Yes, you're absolutely right. Letting someone or something determine my life's path is the easy way out. I'm the only one that can decide what's right for me. Let's return to Maker's Meat. There is something I would like to investigate. If even Jeromere was unable to find it, there's a good chance the Azure Star truly does not exist. There is, however, one other possibility. There is the chance it is out there, just not observable with the tools that were at his disposal. The journey we're about to embark upon is about as dark and uncertain as a flight through a starless night sky. Regardless, I shall not give up. This is a dream I pursued for a decade. I cannot walk away without a fight. Alone, I would have no hope of continuing Jeromere's work, but with you by my side, perhaps I can accomplish that which even he has not. Desiree, may I count on your continued assistance? I will see you through your adventure. I knew I could count on you. Thank you, Desiree. Once I have everything sorted, let us begin production post-haste. Her continued encouragement has really lit a fire in my heart. I feel as fierce as a bomb. What do you say we pick up where we left off, Desiree? Where traditional telescopes give a light to project an image, the star lens captures etheric glimmers and casts that onto the surface of water, hence making stargazing possible. As I was constructing the star lens, I realized I was missing the very place that would allow me to do just that. This is where I would need to, once again, borrow your seasoned hands. Might you craft some ethereal conductors for me? Once these are finished, there will be but one thing left to do. The studium deliveries list for Jude has been updated. And ethereal conductors, and I already gathered the necessary items. Okay, Jude. I'm counting on you to make me some ethereal conductors. You have my gratitude. Truly, I'm blessed to have crossed paths with a craftsman such as yourself. I believe our fateful union is what shall lead us to the rediscovery of the Azure Star. Excellent. Now I have nearly everything I need. Just one last piece and we'll be one step away from a completed star lens. Even if I'm unable to find the Azure Star, meeting you has taught me the importance of perseverance. It's a lesson I shall never forget. What am I saying? Of course I will find it. I must. It's a dream I've spent the last decade pursuing. Exactly. Keep up the good work. Yes, I continue to give it my all. When you find the time to craft a final missing piece, please come and find me. I will be here, eagerly awaiting your visit. Thanks to her support, the fire in my heart grows by the minute. In fact, it feels almost as though Ifrit has taken up residence within me. Jude is thrilled with your effort. He now considers you a friend he can confide in. The promised star. Thanks to you, the completion of the star lens is in sight. Without you by my side, I would have no doubt given up before the journey even began. And I speak not just of finding the Azure Star, but also confronting Jeromere as to why he quit astronomy. Words are not enough to express my gratitude. Now here we stand at the finish line, and I have one last request to make of you. Channeling magic into the star lens requires a wand. Would you please craft one for me? Should you find yourself short on materials, please help yourself to whatever is in the trunk. And suddenly he provides it for us. Oh well. Have you finished crafting the final piece? It's absolutely perfect. Now that I have the necessary parts, all that's left to do is search for the Azure Star. Looks kind of like a scepter of Archbishop Thornton, oder? Doesn't it? Maybe I'm imagining it. Anyway, let's continue. When the time comes, might I be so bold as to ask you to join me? There's also one other individual I wish could be here. That being said, there is no guarantee that the Azure Star even exists. I do not wish to disappoint them again. Even so, I would like to search the skies once again with Jeromere. After all, it's a dream we've shared for a decade. Not at least asking would be a form of betrayal in itself. Given the time, he's most likely at Orc's Landing reciting poetry with his friends. As soon as I finish putting everything together, I will go straight there. Please wait with Jeromere for me at Orc's Landing. What you're looking at. Thanks to the exquisite utensil set you craft for me, she has finally started to take an interest in me. Are you looking for Jeromere again? No, we sense right here. Ah, it's you again. I apologize, but we have nothing more to discuss. You may have nothing more to say, but I have plenty. Jude? The Starlands advertisement I have been working on is now complete. It would mean the world to me if you came to watch me begin my search for the Azure Star. I'm sorry, Jude, but I'm afraid this is something I cannot do. What do you mean you cannot? This is your childhood friend you're talking about. You should go with him. If the Azure Star truly doesn't exist, isn't it your duty to be by his side when he learns the truth? You don't understand. I searched for a decade for that star. It is nowhere to be found. A decade? Surely a jest. What an absolute waste of time that was. Asshole. Ha! To think you were this close to throwing out all the best years of your life chasing a figment of your imagination. If such a thing existed, the top academics in the Faculty of Astronomy would have already found it. They do not even take that into consideration. By the gods, you must be even dumber than a sack of rocks. You. How dare you speak such atrocities? Are you talking to me? You, nor anyone else, has the right to ridicule us. Threaten and laugh at me all you like. You will not strip me of my dream. Then maybe you need some sense knocked into you. I'd strongly recommend against that. You see that craftswoman there? She's an adventurer from overseas, and certainly not someone you want to pick a fight with. Even you don't stand a chance. You'd best watch your back. Jude, in all our years together, I don't think I've ever seen you so upset, much less speak up the way you did. I'll admit I surprised myself a little. My heart's still pounding. I just couldn't let it go when I thought about everything you had invested. We had desert years to utter such words. I lived, ate and breathed that dream. When I discovered there was no hope of fulfilling it, the despair that overcame me was beyond words. I felt worthless. That is why I could say nothing earlier, even if some of the members of the Poetry Club are a little rough around the edges. This is the only place I have. When we were children, I was crying because I did not fit in with the others. You invited me to join you in stargazing. You gave me a place to belong in this world. And now I'm asking you to join me in that place once more, gazing up at the skies. Very well. But this will be it for me, Jude. Let us make our way to Scholar's Harbor. Must first return to the workshop and retrieve the Starlands. So I will meet the two of you there. To think that Jude has changed so drastically and in such a short span of time. It seems what he needed was not someone to take him by the hand, but rather coax him forward from behind. But I'm surprised to see how much Jude has changed, but does not change the fact that the Azure Star does not exist. And where we go. Let us begin then. So this was Starlands. Doesn't look like much. "10 years ago, on that fateful day, we were attempting to observe the constellations aligning the fifth heaven's gate. I will begin by positioning the Starlands in the same manner. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The stars can be seen with such clarity. However, the azure star we saw back then does not shine among them. Not that I expected anything different. After all, one cannot see, even with state-of-the-art technology, which does not exist. You did well, Jude. The Starlands is quite an impressive piece of work. Wait! It is for this exact reason the amplifier exists. Or do we need more? Take my strength. Jude, I want to believe it exists just as much as you do, but... It exists. It's there somewhere, right before our eyes. Please reveal to us your brilliance once more, just as you did 10 years ago. Almost right at the center. Jeromere, look! It's real. It truly does exist. We didn't imagine it. It's real. Why did I give up so easily? Jude, you're extraordinary. Desiree, it's all thanks to you that our decade of hard work did not go to waste. Which reminds me, did you see where Jeromere wandered off to? He was with us when we entered the studium grounds. Ah yes, this feels much better. Now that's more like the Jeromere I know. Desiree, wouldn't you agree with style suits him better? That's some nice fabric. By the sound of it, Desiree wholeheartedly disagrees. Thank you at least for attempting to master your distaste with a polite compliment. Either way, I finally come to realize that simply transforming my appearance does not change who I was on the inside. But that is neither here nor there. What I wish to talk about is the Azure Star. There's something about it that has been niggling at the back of my mind. How is it you succeeded with an ancient lens made of water, but the latest, most advanced equipment of a studium failed? Of course, the star lens allows us to see by capturing not the light of the stars, but their ether, correct? I see. You believe that due to how far away the Azure Star resides from us, a traditional telescope would have trouble capturing the light it emits? The star lens, meanwhile, can capture an image of its ether, the very life force of a star. I can scarcely imagine how much further our technology must advance for telescopes to perceive such a distant celestial body. Strange then, that we were able to see the Azure Star all those years ago. How do you suppose we accomplished such a feat? At the time we were using a toy crafted for children. The lens, contrary to proper telescopes, was made from low-quality crystal. The ether of that crystal lens is likely what allowed us to pick up on the star's glow. But after we reported what we saw, the Faculty of Astronomy conducted their own observations under similar, if not identical conditions and found nothing. What if the intensity of its ethereal emissions is prone to periodical fluctuations? An ethereal cycle, if you will. It stands to reason that night, 10 years ago, the Azure Star had reached its peak. A brief, miraculous window when the star's ether was such that we could catch a glimpse with our crystal-lensed telescope. Incredible. As always, Jeromere, you have always been very sharp. Sharp or not, my abilities pale in comparison to your sheer drive, Jude. Thanks to that drive, we have rediscovered an alternative means of viewing stars in the night sky. And if your theory is correct, then that means there are far more stars out there than we have ever suspected waiting to be discovered. It would certainly seem that way. This may very well revitalize and revolutionize the field of astronomy. Then let us continue working together to find them, Jeromere. Let us continue to breathe life into the dream of those two young boys from 10 years ago. Jude, you forget I'm no longer the Faculty of Astronomy. In case you've already forgotten, I'm a rather persistent fellow. I've waited this long. I can stand to wait a bit longer for your return. I can't argue with that. Never did I think, when we began this journey, that it would come to such a spectacular end. Thanks you once again, Desiree. While our time together was short, it was incredibly fruitful. I'm devastated to have to say goodbye. We, however, shall continue to result under the same stars. When I want to remember our time together, I will simply look to the skies. I pray we will meet again. You shall always remain a treasured and true friend of mine. The fires of Ifrit, nay, the Phoenix, have taken up residence in my heart. They will continue to burn forevermore. You have completed all of Jude's tasks. Jude is deeply moved by your efforts. He now considers you a treasured and trusted friend. Keep an eye out for others in the studium who require the help of an able artisan. You never know who might be in need of your skills. Good, and that was the Faculty of Astronomy and the craftsmen, so the carpenter, the weaver, and the leather worker. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.